This is far from football, right? This is far from football. But things like the situation we find ourselves in our country, in our dear country, Nigeria, is very, very alarming and it's heartbreaking. Now, someone shared a story. Someone said a very important story on X, and I'm going to read it out for you. And I would like you guys to put in your input, right? So let's go. The person started the story. He said, when I got back to Abuja, a soldier stopped me and asked where I was going. I told him I was going to FCT. He politely asked if I could give his colleague a lift, and I agreed. As we got close to Giri Junction, for those of us who know Abuja very well, right? Giri Junction is that airport junction, the one immediately after Gwagwalada, right? So there's a junction there. This one is the one that leads you to Zuba. One is the one that will take you straight to Dugbe and inside the FCT. So he went further. Now he said here, as we got close to Giri Junction, I asked the soldier where he was going. He said Zuba. While I was going through Lugbe into town, I told him that Zuba is not far and transport there is usually around 200 to 300 naira. I asked if he was stopping there or going further. That was when he told me something sad. He said he was going home to see his newborn twins for the first time after 10 months. Underline that statement there. He said he was going home to see his newborn twins for the first time after 10 months because he was not given leave. Sadly, his wife had called to say one of the babies had died and begged him to come quickly to see the other twin. I asked why he didn't travel earlier. He said he was waiting for his salary since it was already the second, but it was not paid. When I asked how he wanted to finish his journey, he showed me all the money he had, 4,500 naira, which was not even enough. I felt bad and gave him 20,000 naira. I also took his number and promised to call and check on baby. Now, this guy is asking a question. At the tail end of this article or this thing he put there on X, he said, I want to ask a question. Please, are these the soldiers we expect to lay their lives in our protection? You are owing soldiers and you want them to be effective while fighting insecurity. Honestly, this is very sad. This is the story the man shared on X. Now I want to ask a question. This is to my dear President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. His Excellency, is this how you pay your soldiers? How do you want these guys to lay down their lives to protect citizens? Whereas these guys are not even paid enough. How can someone give birth, his wife gave birth to set of twins, right? For 10 months, he was not given permission to go and see his family. Only for his wife to call that one of the babies don't buy. That was why you guys released him to go and see. And you are paying these guys peanuts. If you don't take care of these soldiers, how do you want them to perform? How do you want them to perform? How do you want them to lay down their lives to protect citizens? If things like this are not taken care of, how do you think that these guys will be feeling? A man with family, a man with children, a man with extended family that many people are looking up to as a breadwinner, and it's not even given enough. Salary have not been paid since on the 2nd of April. And today is what again? Today is what, 6 or 7. And these things keep happening every now and then. And these things are not being put, there's no plan to actually caution these kind of things. And you want these guys to lay down their lives to protect the citizens of this country. How do you expect them to perform despite with all this kind of treatment? It is not going to happen if we keep, bringing this treatment to our soldiers. These guys literally leave their family, stay in the bush for many months, fighting these insurgencies, fighting all these, terrorists in the bush, and they're not properly taken care of. I saw this thing, I said, Omo, I need to share it with you guys because, Omo, it is not looking nice, and it is very sad for a man who has family who will travel all the way. And thank goodness that this man was even touched by this man's story to give him at least 20K. And to the soldiers, some of you, I know you follow others, but the way you people treat civilians is not nice. It's so sad anyway. It's so sad that things like this keep happening, and yet governments don't do anything to salvage the situation. And you want the same soldiers you treat like this to lay down their lives to protect lives and property of the citizens. Omo, we are still joking. If this thing keep happening like this, we are still joking.